Well, hello everybody. This is a reading for the week of May 20th. Oh my gosh, it's already the end of May practically. I'm actually doing this reading on the 22nd. We're a couple days in, and we are actually in the shadow of a Sagittarian full moon that happens tomorrow. So a lot of you may be feeling a lot of energy and a lot of energy building. That fire moon is really good. Fire full moon is good for going on an adventure, being social, being creative. There's just a lot of energy and creativity and passion in that moon. So go express it. And I always feel like moons, like a new moon or a full moon, lasts like 3 days, like the day before, the day of, and the day after. So 3 days of Sagittarian fun. Okay, let's see what the cards want to share. Oh, okay, well, we're starting out with a message about anxiety, worst case scenario thinking, fear. This card generally is asking us to look at the role that this sort of energy is playing in our life right now. So, is there a reason that you're feeling anxious? If there is, explore it, listen to it. If it's just hanging around, try and take a deep breath and realize that maybe you can put a little more trust in the universe and trust in things working out. If this is a really strong energy, lots of times it's good to sit down and really think about what you can control and what you can't control, and put your energy into what you can control and try and figure out what the hell to do with situations that aren't really in your direct ability to influence. So that could be telling yourself a story about a situation that if it's not going to change, well, maybe you can tell yourself a story about it that makes it a little less intense. I mean, maybe it's a situation that you need to distance yourself from, and that will help with your anxiety level. But usually this card has to do with things that we can't control and spinning out because of that. So that is just definitely something to look at this week. And, sometimes fire moons just make people restless and a little anxious anyway. Okay, let's see what else wants to come to light for us this week and help guide us through this crazy existence. Oh, that's really nice. That's a good energy. We have the star right in the middle of the reading. I really like that. And that's a really good antidote for this Nine of Swords energy that we first pulled, because it's a very hopeful energy. And it really does usually show up to let us know that we are connected to the divine, that the universe does have our back, right? Now, other things in life might not, but oftentimes the universe or God or whatever you believe in does. Oh, lovely. And our outcome is wonderful temperance, which is such a great outcome too. So, regardless of maybe some of the other things I touch on in this reading, just know that our bookends are really wonderful energies this week. Oftentimes with the star right in the middle, I call it the Oasis card. If you've been, pardon me, going through a harder time, and that hard time might just be some sort of internal trip you've been on, because the basis of this reading is the Hanged Man, which tends to be a very internal card about personal change and personal growth, which sometimes, fun might not be the word I use for it, but the star is sort of a salve for this. The star really, to me, is, you've gone through quite a bit and you finally get to a place that you can rest for a while. And not only can you rest, but you can sort of see the end in sight, right? So it's just a really safe, secure, pleasant place to be. And it's just saying this week, try and figure out how to do that for yourself. Try and figure out your own personal oasis, because there still may be a lot of responsibilities, because this card is just hanging around. This is a card of responsibility. So figure out how to do that oasis for yourself. Do you need to delegate? Do you need to lighten your load somehow in order to do that? The star will help you do that. If you're a person who takes on responsibility really easy, the star will help you to maybe get a bigger picture of your life for yourself, because this is known as one of the wish cards, right? It sort of means if, down the road, if you have a clear vision of what you want now, you will get it. So it sort of gives you hope, right? But in the meantime, really look at your responsibility level and make some adjustments if you need to. In our sort of relationship sector this week, you may need to be the emotional leader in whatever situation you're in. Oftentimes this is just a call to, in this position, it's just saying that you actually may be the one who needs to address a situation, lead a situation. This can be romantic or otherwise, but pretty much waiting around for somebody else, especially if their their interests are elsewhere. You may need to call the situation into being, to talk about it, to address it. This isn't bad. It's just saying that sometimes if you want something done, you've got to proactively within a relationship deal with it, right? And I mean, the good news is having temperance as the outcome this week. Anything that we're addressing or doing or dealing with will tend to bring what I call a radical rebalance into play. For those of you who are in the process of healing physically, emotionally, spiritually, temperance as the outcome is just a really positive indicator. So I cannot really stress how strong it is to have both the star, which is one of the healing cards, and temperance in the beginning and the end of this reading. It's almost calling you to do healing work because it's so positive. And also, especially if they're saying, hey, within relationship, maybe it's time to do some active healing work as well. And let's say you decide to bring something up in a relationship with somebody, it doesn't quite go where you wanted it to go. The fact is, with temperance as the outcome, it's still a rebalancing for you, whatever the outcome, okay? So when I look at this story that the outcome is telling us, it's really just saying, first of all, if you're in a situation that isn't working for you, it's okay to be like, hey man, this isn't working. I'm going to go elsewhere. You may or may not owe anybody an explanation for that. So this can be any situation now. I'm switching out a relationship, but it can be within relationship. But this is just saying, as this, starting now and through the month, if you are in a situation that does not work for you, it is okay to go elsewhere. And, sort of hand in hand with that, we have this investment card, which is because where you're putting your energy, right, is where you build what you need. Oftentimes I call this build it and they will come. Well, why are these two together? Is your energy going in the right direction? Are you building something that is going to benefit you down the road, or are you building something for somebody else, right? Ultimately, all of these topics I'm bringing up are bringing us to temperance, which is about balance. So I just think that this is a really good week to, we started out with that Nine of Swords, which is like really getting clear on what you can control and what you can't control, and try not to stress about what you can't. That is a very spiritual situation lots of times, but I think there's some practical things you can do, like remove yourself from a situation that isn't working. Again, we have that mirrored in the outcome, which is if something isn't working, please keep moving. Put your energy where it counts, whether that's in your career, your self-growth, your relationships. Don't keep pouring into something that doesn't, right? Give back, because temperance is like, let's heal, let's move, let's grow. The star is also like, I'm here for you. Divine love is here for you. So have some trust in life and don't settle. All right. I hope you have a good week, and I will check back with you next week. All right. Bye.